toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Oh no.
You're listening to
KXVS.
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 The voice of Stockton.
Hot damn. See you licking frosting from your own hands. Want another taste of bacon? Yes.
I'm crazy, apparently. Thank you for listening to the Rise and Shine 209 Morning Show. This is London Mark.
The airwaves? You're not crazy. It's complex. So,
now it's crazy or complex?
yeah.
These are not the parameters.
So we're talking about sports before we went on break, and we wanted to come back. And, like I said, anytime somebody wants to talk about Oakland Raiders, I am all for it. Before we do, wanted to recap some sports I was involved with last night. I covered the Delta basketball, the men's and women's games. Last night was Pack the House, their tribute to their sophomores, last home game for some, especially one of the teams probably won't be playing after last night. No playoffs for them. But it was a good night. A lot of fans were there for the sophomores and just to support the teams. And the teams came out. They showed up and showed out, really. First game being the women's game. It was unfortunate. The Delta women won 104-48. Once again, 104-48. It's a lot.
That is.
With 100 points?
Did they not do in elementary school? They just stop the game after a while.
They don't do that.
They just keep going.
They just keep going.
Oh,
yeah.
How painful is that?
Very painful.
Hey, if you make the call, you got a ball.
But I will say this: Modesto, they had a six-man woman rotation, so that alone was going to be a problem because Coach Johnson, the women's basketball coach, she runs her deep. Her roster is deep. She plays about 9 to 11 players. So they were just gonna. And they already run the full court press on defense, and they're up and down team likes to shoot the ball early in the offense. So it was going to be a tough game. But I will say for Modesto, their spirits were up the entire game. They were They were engaged. They didn't stop fighting. They were already down at 20 at halftime, and when they were coming back from halftime, the whole team, including two of the coaches, were singing a song that was playing over the PA system, and just still engaged and having fun. So you like to see that.
I do. I like to see that, especially, it gets really intense as they get older, closer to high school. It's really serious. This is either career or recreational, but either way, it's really, really serious. So I like to see when coaches encourages the team to still have great sportsmanship and a good attitude, regardless of your position on the court or field.
And that's what it's about, having that good attitude. And it just, that transfers to other things in life. Because everything doesn't go your way, and if you can figure it out, if basketball or a sport teaches you that, fine by me, so be it. But just to highlight, one of the players was Brittany Butler. She what'd she have? She had 20. 20 and 4 rebounds. That's like the star for the Delta women's team. Her and a couple others, but she stood out last night. And for the men, I don't remember what the score was, but they won by 25, led by Joaquin Cormier, who had, what did he have, 26 and 14 rebounds. He was killing.
I was about to say that. He was killing it.
At one point, he had more points than the other team.
Wow.
It was that. They played him previously in the season, and he had 32 that game. So he was unstoppable last night, and the Delta men won. Same kind of thing. They were just, Modesto was just overmatched. But Delta's men and women are coached good. They have two great coaches for those organizations. So that was that. 2 good games. Packed the house. They packed the house, and they did support the sophomores, and the team showed up and showed out for the fans.
That's good. That's always good. So let's give a shout out to all of the kids who were playing.
Yeah.
Because
kids.
Well, I mean, compared to us, they're kids. High school, middle school, elementary school. I mean, if you are in school and playing a sport at a young age, I believe for me that's already like a big thumbs up, because I can remember when it was just hard. Like, I didn't play sports consistently through high school. I did play summer league basketball for Edison, and that's just really strength and conditioning. You know, our tournaments were at Delta College, and at that time, you know, I was like the only, well, there was like, I was on the fresh soft team, so it was like myself and only one other black girl, and we were the biggest. Everyone else was like short. They were all like Filipinos or Hispanic, and they were all short. So of course my position was center, and I just needed to know how to not let them get the ball. I didn't have to worry about shooting. I didn't have to worry about running the ball. Just don't let the other team score. So but just that alone, in addition to like speech and debate and just being a kid and wanting to have life, and I was working freshman year of high school. I worked full time at McDonald's, so to balance all that was very strenuous. And I even lost my father senior year of high school. So just dealing with typical life things and still be able to perform as a successful athlete, I believe they deserve a major round of applause for that, whether you won the game or lost the game.
Still put in the time.
Still put in the time and the work and the great attitude.
Right.
You know how teens are. They don't want to do nothing these days. They just want to stay at home, get on Instagram or Snapchat, and that's it.
Play some video games.
Play some video games. And if they do play sports, it's like, oh, I'm just doing it to meet a requirement, or my mom or my dad wanted me to do it. So that's good. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big person that says sports can teach you a lot about life.
Yeah.
Especially being on a team, just a team period, I would say. Stretch it out to a little broader than that. But, life lessons early. Teach you how to work with people that you don't like.
Oh, God.
That you don't usually come from different backgrounds, so it helps you with
right.
that. And just, organization and being accountable and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm learning that from a parent's perspective, watching my son go through basketball. He first started in second grade. We kind of did something illegal. We let him play on the third, fourth grade team in second grade.
They're coming for you.
Ooh.
Yeah, I won't tell the team, but we were in Lathrop.
Right outside.
Yeah, but he was tall, and you know what? I really want to say thank you to Coach Elliott out there. Because he gave my son a chance. My son had never played basketball before, didn't know, he watched it on TV and threw around the ball, but he didn't know different terminology. He didn't even know what half court was, the key, 2, 3, like all that little stuff the basics, he didn't know. And coach gave him an opportunity, and his first game was at High in Lodi. And he had been going to practice for about a month, about 4 good scrimmages and practices. And every game he went to, the coach said, well, you know what? I still want him to sit with the team in uniform because he's still part of the team. I don't want him sitting on the side feeling like he's not part of it. And we were up, I want to say like 10 points right before, halftime. And the coach goes, you get in the game. And just to see my son like,
it's time.
Me? Like, it was like in slow motion. He looked over at me like, Mom, this is my moment.
Challenge accepted.
And he ran out there. Jersey came. His jersey was ordered 2 sizes too big. So his jersey fell out of his shorts. So he had like this jersey dress on, and everybody's laughing, but he's just running. And it was the first time the coach actually saw what he does under pressure. And he was the fastest runner because he still runs on his tippy toes. So I want to get him in track too.
Yes,
but they just made him run the ball. They were like, get the ball, run, pass it. That's your job on our team, because he was fast out there and got to stay out there. Like, he got a lot of playing time for his first time. Nice. And to see him after that, he didn't get to shoot or score, but it was like nonstop. We could not miss a game. Then he started practicing at home. He wanted to make friends with a better player so he can learn how to shoot the ball. And so by the end of the season, my son got most improved and best defensive player over kids that had already been playing 2 years,
Nice.
So I think that's amazing. So now he's playing in third grade on a 4th, 5th grade team. And you're absolutely right. Like, he's just more well-rounded. He's more focused. And of course he's 8. So he's still a kid who wants to play video games and doesn't, it fluctuates. But I can tell when it comes to basketball, like, he's doing his own research on YouTube. Like, he'll come and be like, hey, Mom, do you know Michael Jordan and 1990 something? I'm like, how did you learn that? On YouTube. And I'm like, okay, that's great. And I have the parental control thing. So when I go back and see what he's watched, it's either SpongeBob or Teen Titans Go or something about basketball. So I think that's pretty amazing. And you are absolutely right. I see that he can engage with other children better. He's more cooperative. He's more focused on following instructions. And I believe that plays a lot about the coach as well, plays into, how you coach. Because even with me, it's like, okay, I need you to listen. And he's focused. And we have this joke on a team, he's used to saying, yes, coach. But he says it after every sentence. So the coach can't finish. And so sometimes Coach Hunt has to be like, okay, let me finish the statement first. And then you say, yes, coach.
Okay, coach.
Yeah. Yes, coach. Okay, coach. Got it, coach. All right, coach. Like, it's so cute. Everybody loves them. But anyway, enough about the kids. I need some help. I love sports. I do. Well, basketball. I like watching sports. I watch our local hockey team here. The Stockton Heat now. We used to be
the Thunder, right?
Thunder. Yeah. My son has actually a board, like, autographed. It was gifted to him. That's Thunder. So I got to see. Yeah, like
a board?
No. I guess it could be a skateboard, but they took the wheels off. It's like the board part. Like a, yeah.
And a skateboard?
Yeah.
It's the board. It's the deck.
The deck. Okay, that's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what it's called. Yeah. So he has that.
The Thunder?
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, like cool. the logo, like it's one of theirs. Yeah. And it's signed by the entire team. It was gifted to him.
That is nice.
Who's on that team?
I don't even remember everybody.
There might be some famous people on that team.
Yeah. But now that they're the Heat, I was like, oh my God. And so
you know what year you got it? Sorry.
I don't know which
I watched
year.
a lot of hockey, so.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll talk about that tomorrow. I'll look. It's at home. It's at the house. I'll take pictures, and then I'll send it to you, and you let me know. But yeah, so it's autographed by the team, and it was gifted to him, and we just have yet to mount it on his wall. He wants it on his wall. But we watch the games. We go to watch the Heat sometimes. So we're really engaged, but I'm still not as well versed or educated when it comes to football and local football. So when I hear
there's 4 downs.
Yeah,
you have to make it. You really? Oh, I was being sarcastic.
No, I really don't know anything about football. I mean, I know what a touchdown is. I know how you count.
What's a touchdown?
When the other team makes it on the opposite side with the ball, and you have to have the ball like in your hand before you got to get over the line. Like, I know those things. I know how to get excited. And watching the Super Bowl this time.
How to get excited is part of knowing.
Well, because I don't want to be that person to scream like, yes! And they're like, no, that wasn't good.
This is my favorite part of the game.
She's like, yeah, the Niners got a home run.
All right. I'm not that off when it comes to football.
Just a girl I met in the restroom. That would be you, right?
Yeah.
That would be you.
That's from Coming to America.
I didn't hear what he said.
Oh, okay.
He jumped up at, what was it, halftime?
Yeah,
right?
it was halftime.
He was like, yes. He's like, what are you doing? It's halftime. This is my favorite part of the game.
So, yeah. No, I mean, that's all I really knew in college was halftime because my Morehouse brother was in the band. So okay. I would go, and that was and then I was on color guard for just one semester. Mahogany Emotion. So that was it. I was a flag chick for a minute.
So you didn't hang out with any
Mahogany Emotion?
Well, a lot of my Morehouse brothers were athletes, so yeah, we did hang out. But I went to freshman year, Spelman and Morehouse. Of course, Spelman, we only had a volleyball team. We didn't have a basketball team at that time when I was there. So sports, of course, being an all-girls school, we get free admission to every single home game. Well, actually, every Morehouse game, but of course, you don't want to travel with the team. You got to pay. Right. But we got free admission to every sports game. All you have to do is show your Spelman ID. So I made it a point freshman year to make it to every single football game, and I did. I went to every single home football game, or if it was close enough to where I can ride with the band, because my Morehouse brother was in the band. And I should, wanted to go. Sophomore year, I missed a few, but sophomore year, Denzel Washington's son was playing, and so it was like big because you'll see Denzel there rooting for his son, and he made almost every home game as well. So I got acclimated to the game, but I really love the spirit of football. Halftime was my time, I would cheer my brother in the band, and those of you who know about HBCUs and black college bands, like, it's a big deal. Yeah. So that's like the moment. It's not like a like it's like duh, duh, duh. Like it's like bass and booty popping, and it's like a concert. So yeah, halftime is my favorite part. And then being in color guard, like I had to take dance classes, and I just had to give it, and it was too much. I'm like not that girl, but I gave it a semester. So I did learn a little bit about it, but I still don't know much about the NFL. I can recognize teams. Like, I know our teams are the 49ers and the Raiders, but...
You said our teams.
California.
Okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be associated with either.
Oh, I know Dallas, Texas is what, the Cowboys...
No, I the reason I said it like that was because she said our teams as if she was including herself as a part of them already.
Oh God,
that's why.
Oh, no, not like that. I just meant like California. But I actually had a cousin to play for the Redskins, and then I think he went to the Chicago Bears. Yeah. So I had a cousin play in the NFL. I was in middle school, but Marlon Primus. That was the same last name. Yeah. So he played for a little bit, but he got an injury and had to get out. But so I do know a little bit.
Injuries, they don't care who you are.
Yeah.
What you look like.
And it was really like at the height of
how good you are.
It was really like at the height of his career. Like it was just like, I'm here, I made it. Like now it was like a couple of teams like negotiating for him. And I just remember in middle school, like, OMG, like I have a cousin, people are like fight like in the NFL. Like, wow. And yeah, like a first cousin too, not like a 4th, 5th, 2 times removed cousin. Someone
you actually know.
Yeah. And I remember him sending me like, paraphernalia, like, sports gear.
So you a Bears fan?
No. Well, when I was in middle school, he was on the Redskins. So I remember he would send me like a sweatshirt and like sweatpants. And I remember teachers like, oh, so you're a Redskins fan, because we're in California type thing. But yeah, that's it.
We don't say that name in here.
Oh, sorry.
What?
Redskins?
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay. So tell me about...
They're the Washingtons.
Oh, Washingtons. Okay. So now that you guys are the host of Sports Tonight.
That's your first lesson.
My first lesson is the Washingtons. Yes. Okay. So now that you guys are the host of the sports show Monday nights at 7 here on KXVS radio, I want to know what's going on with the Raiders. Before we had the break, is it rumored or is it definite the Raiders are no longer going to be the Oakland Raiders?
It's not definite. It's tentatively impending. Like it's probably going to happen, but recently. So this is the whole deal, right? If you've been to Oakland, you know that there are parts of Oakland that are not very nice, right?
True.
Which would lead you to believe that the city doesn't have a lot of money to upkeep. People don't want to go there and invest. So it's been a big problem. Combine that with the fact that for the past, not including this year, the Raiders have not been very good for the past decade and almost decade and a half.
Oh, okay.
Right? And so the Raiders have been trying to get a new stadium for at least longer than that because they're the only team that still plays in the stadium with the baseball team.
Wow.
So for the first 5-6 games of the seasons, they actually play on dirt because the A's aren't done playing.
Oh, wow.
And they can't take it off. And so whenever they play home games, they play on a football field that's over a baseball diamond, and so the dirt from the diamond they actually play on it.
Oh. Well, that already sucks.
Yeah, and so for the reasons why I mentioned before, Alameda County doesn't want to pay for a stadium. A lot of these stadiums most of these stadiums that go up around the country, a lot of them are paid for in large part by the the communities that they exist in.
Oh,
right.
okay.
So it'll be either tax money or bond money, or somehow that money comes out of right. And the thinking is that the sports team is supposed to be for the community. The sports team supports the community, and the community supports the sports team. Right. It's supposed to be like a mutual. Right. And so. I'm not sure if I necessarily agree with that. I think that if you're a billionaire, you can pay for your own god, your own god D stadium. But that's been the issue, right? Alameda County doesn't want to pay for them to build a new stadium because, well, in my opinion, I think there's lots of other things that they could be spending the money on. Yeah, true. I think that's a fair assessment. Housing. And if you see where ODOTCO Stadium is, it's really not a nice area. In terms of what's or surrounding one of my best friends used to live less than 5 minutes away from the stadium, and we're talking about ghetto, like
in the hood.
Like not
in the real, like, for real.
Do not go walking outside if it's past. Yeah, if the street lights are on,
doesn't matter the time. If it's dark, go inside.
Don't go inside. Don't go outside.
Okay.
And the fireworks from the games go off right over her house. Like she could go outside and look up, and there are fireworks.
Oh wow!
So, Alameda doesn't want to pay for it. The team has been trying to get support from the city to help them pay for a new stadium, but nothing has happened, and it's been an ongoing battle for at least 2 decades. Oh wow! To get a new stadium for the Raiders to play in, and it hasn't happened. And so, finally, the management and the owners, Mark Davis, the son of Al Davis. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if you know about Al Davis, but he's one of the. Actually, he might be the most iconic NFL owner of all time. Actually,
wow.
He's not. He's late. He passed away. Was that about 5 years ago?
Roughly.
But about 5 years ago he passed away, and he left the son to his team, Mark Davis, and But he was a huge part of the NFL AFL merger, and he left a very large legacy and lots of shoes to fill. And so now it's come time for something to happen, and Mark Davis, he really wants to put a stamp on it. Mm-hmm. He also wants to get the Raiders out of the situation that they're in terms of their stadium situation, because they do deserve a new stadium. They do deserve to have their own stadium, or at least a stadium that is solely devoted to football, and not to have to share it with the baseball team.
So they want their own.
So they want their own stadium.
Okay.
The Alameda's not paying for it. I think the idea of them going to and playing in Santa Clara in the same stadium that the Niners play in has been tossed out there, but they also don't want that. And you can't really blame them. It's not like they live in the same city. It's not like it's like San Francisco has 2 teams. They're 2 separate entities. I guess they play in the same market, but they want to be separate. They want to have their own thing, which makes sense. And so now, this idea of Vegas has come up. The idea of LA came up, and some other places that were thrown out there. But LA and Vegas were really the 2 main options for the Raiders.
So they want to keep them on the
Let
West
me know if
Coast.
I diverge from the story in any place, Alex.
They want to keep them on the West Coast, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that way they don't have to worry about switching divisions.
Yeah. Okay, I do understand that part.
And so the Raiders were in LA, right? The Raiders started in Oakland, they moved to LA, and they moved back.
Oh, I never knew that.
And there's a lot of talk, and a lot of people believe that even though the LA is now going to have 2 teams, they're going to have the Chargers and they're going to have the Rams, that LA is still very much a Raider town. Like most football fans in LA. And I don't know.
You know what? I kind of believe that.
And it's easy to believe. There are lots of Raider fans everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know that from experience because I don't spend a lot of time in LA. But from a lot of what professionals in sports say, LA is a Raider town.
Oh, okay.
And so it's very ironic that LA got 2 teams and not one of those teams is the Raiders. And so it's very unlikely that LA is going to get a 3rd team. So I think that option's kind of off the table, especially now that San Diego decided to move. And I believe they're going to be sharing, the Chargers and the Rams are going to be sharing the new stadium that's being built.
Oh, okay. So it's already crowded in LA.
Yeah, exactly. And so now Vegas is on the table. And so they had investors right? The mayor and the businesses in Las Vegas really want this to happen, right? They said that there's a plan. They're going to use hotel tourism taxes to help fund the stadium. Las Vegas pushed all in.
Yeah, and I mean they have the space. I mean,
no pun intended. They
and they have this. They have the land. I mean, Vegas is still so much of a desert.
Yeah. So they're gonna put it right on the Strip.
Oh, on the Strip.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know what? Even saying on the Strip,
which is the genius idea.
Yeah, even saying on the Strip, there's still a lot of land.
Yeah, they're always building.
Around. Yeah,
they're always building.
Yeah, I have family out there. Vegas is for a while was my second home.
And so there's this guy named Adelson, who's a major investor. He owns a few hotel casinos out in Vegas on the Strip, and he was supposed to be. I think he was one of the primary investors, and this is just within a couple of weeks ago.
Oh wow!
And I guess he's one of the primary investors. It seemed like everything was going according to plan. Like there's really no reason for why the Raiders would be denied the move, especially after San Diego just got up and basically packed in the middle of the night and was like, "Oh, we're leaving. We're going. Bye.
Wow.
We'll see you later." At the drop of the hat. So there really didn't seem to be a reason for why the Raiders would be denied.
Okay.
Especially considering everything that they've gone through in terms of trying to get a new stadium and fighting with the Alameda County. But there ended up being a meeting, like an investor meeting or some kind of meeting that Adelson, the investor, would have expected to have been a part of. And then he wasn't invited to this meeting. And he come to find out something about how even though he was one of the primary investors, he was only being given, I think it was like 1% of the shares. So he wasn't going to have a huge part of the ownership, which is what he wanted. The investor. Yes.
They just want your money. They don't want you to own it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that he thought that he was going to have more leverage, more power in terms of the situation. I don't know if he thought he wasn't going to be Mark Davis, who was the owner of the team.
But he thought he was going to be up there.
He thought he was going to be a bigger part of the picture, like he himself. And this is a guy that he's a very powerful person in Las Vegas. He owns a lot.
You're bringing it to the city that I'd have more pull in. You know, not only are you taking my money, but my resources that are attached to having my name on it. And I can understand.
And so when he found that out, he pulled.
Oh.
And so now, I mean, it's easy to say that there are lots of people who would be willing to invest in this. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, Adelson is basically the perfect guy because he's a guy who already has invested. He's it's like what you just said.
Yeah.
It's his backyard. He knows exactly what's going on.
Right.
And so now the situation is they have to figure out a way to replace those funds, which I don't know if that'll necessarily be hard. It just depends on who's willing to do it.
Right. And then now what do they expect? And then they'll probably try to get him. Are they trying to get him back? Like to say, hey, let's negotiate terms?
No one knows.
And then what's the thing about changing it from the Raiders and the color, like total rebranding? Who's that up to? Is that just the owner dude, Mark guy? He just wants to do it? Like, I get why they're moving.
I think it's just on the table. I think even if they moved, I do think they're going to end up moving.
Yeah, I mean, well, I can understand them moving.
I don't think that they're going to change the name. I think it's on the table, and they might be like, oh, hey, should we do this? And then maybe they'll do some, like, focus group research.
Yeah.
And I think if they were to do that, they would hopefully realize that changing the name would be the dumbest thing on the entire planet.
So then you're just taking it totally away. And
So now it seems like we're still waiting to see what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But we're still waiting to see if other investors are going to put their names in the pot.
Okay.
It's still very up in the air, essentially. Which is hilarious because just a couple of weeks ago, it seemed like the door was almost shut. But with these situations in terms of teams moving and teams relocating, until it's done, it's never done.
Okay.
Until it's done, it's never done. You could ask any Sacramento Kings fan about that. Until it's over, it's never
it ain't over till it's over.
Yeah. So that's
thank you.
The full accurate rundown, I think.
Well, thank you for the update. For those of us who don't know, but would still be interested, in knowing what's going on.
Does
That
it-
was a good overview.
Does this mean that you're a Raider fan now?
No,
Oh, okay.
does not mean I'm a Raider fan.
Who's your football team?
I don't really watch football.
You have 6 months.
I have to come up with a team. I mean, but I have to do research, see
Yes.
who I like. I don't know much about players in football. Like, it's just crazy. I really don't even have a.
You can just be a Patriots fan. You don't have to know about the players.
Oh, I just need to jump on the Patriots wagon now that they won the Super Bowl and you like them. I need to become a Patriots.
It's not
fan.
called jumping on the bandwagon. You just jump on the actual wagon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Well, we'll see.
You know, it's not a bandwagon because the bandwagon gets left, and then you're on it, and then you stop caring because you got left behind.
Okay.
You know,
Well, I'll see, because if I become a fan, or
I only
being
made that
a
joke
fan,
because the Patriots use a lot of players that people never want, and they leave, and you never hear from them again. My whole point is that there's a lot of players that it doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when I become a fan, I wanna invest. I wanna follow. I wanna watch the game.
You should be a Raider fan.
I don't know. Well, the Raiders are leaving. I don't know if they don't stay the Raiders.
man,
Why become a Raiders fan and then
Oh.
they're going to be the Las Vegas,
Man, that's dangerous.
Las
If you
Vegas.
actually start watching the NFL channels right now, they're talking about the draft that's coming up.
Okay.
This can give you an opportunity to watch a season right from the beginning.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's perfect.
And gives you.
All right.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's actually.
So
you can find
that'll
some
be
players.
like a personal goal to
You have
get
NFL
into football.
you have NFL Network.
Yeah, I don't think I'm paying for it yet, but I can download it.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
get some NFL Network. Look up. Maybe you'll see some players in the draft that you.
And they have it like online, right? On the
yeah,
on
you
the
can just go to
website.
NFL.com.
Yeah.
You see some players that maybe you want to get behind. You know.
Yeah,
You know.
I'll do that.
Maybe you-
and see where they go and
Maybe
follow
you'll-
a story.
Maybe
I
you'll
like
follow
that.
Deshaun Watson, who a lot of people think that he might be the next big thing. He was able to beat Alabama, which if you don't know anything about Alabama, the football team, they are essentially kings of the nation in football.
Okay.
Like they're,
Yeah, I know it's huge out there.
they're
In the
they're
South.
top. Well, not even just that, because football's big in the South. College football's big in the South, but. I mean, they win like they are the perennial winners
Oh, okay.
of the national football title,
Oh, okay.
especially over the past decade and a half.
What?
What's how often Alabama wins?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're always
Oh,
at the
okay.
top.
Yeah, they win a lot, and so Deshaun Watson's team.
But not this time.
Yeah, Deshaun. Oh yeah,
Clemson, baby.
He's a Clemson fan and Deshaun Watson played for
That's
Clemson,
already
and they
too much for
played.
me.
They played in the national championship, and I think a lot of people didn't think that Clemson was going to be able to get it done, but Clemson did in the end defeat. They did slay the dragon.
I'm already like overwhelmed with so much.
Hey, but this, you know,
This
talking
is a
about
lot.
watching now, you can watch the combine, and it's at
Okay.
the bare minimum.
What?
It's for you. It's guys running around in tights.
Don't just
No.
like
that doesn't
turn me
and
on.
no shirts.
don't get
No.
into the stats. Just
Yeah.
like
What I'll first start doing is listening more to the Sports Tonight talk show with you two on Monday nights, because you guys are good at breaking it down and helping me understand. Then I'll get the NFL Network and start, seeing what's going on, and
she's
just
gonna be a sports
You should
fan.
listen to the
yeah.
Dan
Baby
Libitard
step.
show.
baby steps.
The what show?
The Dan Libitard show.
Baby steps.
Whose show is that?
Dan Libitard. He's on ESPN.
Oh, what? Yeah, is that ESPN Radio?
Oh yeah, it's on ESPN Radio, but the show actually comes on ESPN as well.
Okay. Well, we'll get into
The reason I say that because you don't mind extra stuff being talked about,
Oh,
so
okay.
it doesn't. It's not full
All
sports in your
sports.
face.
Okay.
They have a little bit of pop culture.
Oh,
in there.
you know what you should watch?
Okay.
You should watch His and Hers.
Yeah, that's another
His
one.
and Hers.
With Jamel Hill and Michael Smith.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll get-
Now they're
I'll-
on it. I don't even think His and Hers is on anymore because they're on ESPN now.
Okay.
It's still called His and Hers, isn't it? Though
Are they still doing their?
I
their
feel like I
segment?
just saw a commercial for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's, but it did look like it was being branded differently. Like it looked like it was a new.
When we get off the air, I'll look it up for you and show you, and
Okay.
then we'll lock
So-
it down because those two would be a good one for you as
Yeah,
well.
that's a good show.
Well, maybe we can go to a break now because
Good Morning Football is also a great show. Do you watch that show? I love Good Morning Football.
Okay. So I'll get a list of shows to start to get into. I'm already trying to get into these other shows, Black Mirror and the OA and that type of thing. You guys are just giving me too much TV. I don't have that much
It's
time.
so good. Has anyone out there watched the OA?
We'll see about it. So when we'll come back from break, we'll go live. We'll talk about a little bit TV. I have some TV to go on. Nobody's really been talking about since we've been on Donald Trump, or President Trump now. what happened to The Apprentice after he left. So I want to talk a little bit about that. I'm actually a bit disappointed I didn't get into TV to watch The Apprentice. On Monday, they just announced the winner of the first season of The Apprentice without Donald Trump. We'll talk about that.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we'll go to a break right now. This is the Rise and Shine 209 Morning Show. I'm Miz J here with Alex in London. You guys stay tuned. We have more after this.
Here at KXVS, broadcasting from Stone Tube Studios is